Hey, it's Owen from M1 Audio. This week we'll be hitting the modular effects pedal zone with the Walrus Audio M1 High-Fidelity Modulation Machine. Walrus Audio is a boutique pedal company out of Oklahoma City, USA that's been around for about 10 years. They produce a huge range of effects from distortions, fuzzes and overdrives to reverbs and delays, to amp simulators, EQs and compressors, to a world of modulation effects. They seem to have everything covered over there. But today we'll be focusing on the M1. It's part of Walrus Audio's MAKO Series, which is noted by the shark on the pedals and boxes, which is their super tweakable digital pedal range. So far in this range, they've released the R1 and the D1, a reverb and a delay unit respectively, but this is perhaps one of the most feature-ridden boxes they've got. It has a chorus, phaser, tremolo, vibrato, Rotary speaker emulator, and a filter all in one box. Plus built-in presets and the ability to save your own settings and optional MIDI control too. Usually I'd bust this thing open to see what's going on inside, but I couldn't get it open without messing up the USB slot and the lovely powder-coated paintwork. But I'm assuming it's definitely a digital IC controlled unit. As you can see, there's a multitude of tweakable parameters on this thing. So I'm going to get stuck right into a demonstration on synthesizer. I've pre-recorded the backing track and the synth using the Prophet 6 with a really pedestrian tone, just so you can get the full feeling of how this pedal sounds. This way I will have both hands to really tweak this thing. And why synth? Because every demo I've seen on this pedal so far has been guitar people playing chords and stuff. I want to see how deep and heavy we can get with this pedal today. I'll be doing this in stereo too, so whack on some headphones if you want to hear the full effects of the stereo modulation and phase that this thing can do. Stay tuned after the demo and I'll walk you through what each knob and switch on this thing does. Let's hit it. Now this is a complex one, so bear with me while I run through all the features. Starting at the top left-hand corner, we have rate, depth, and lo-fi. Now this is an interesting and complicated one. We notice the text for this is in gold. The knob on its own acts as a master for any of these 6 lo-fi effects that you wish to add to your sound. These are selectable parameters based on where these 2 switches are located. So holding down the bypass lo-fi switch, you can adjust envelope, drive, or space, which is a simple reverb, with the tweak knob. And over here, you can adjust the age, which limits the frequency bandwidth and gets more old-timey, noise, which adds a vinyl S crackle or white noise, or warble, which deforms and warps the LFO master shape with the tune knob. The lo-fi knob will act as a master control for any of these effects you've added to your sound. Now, tweak. This knob controls the elements selected by the switch below. We've got shape, which selects the LFO waveform from sine, triangle, and square waves. Div, a division control that adjusts the tap division set with the tap foot switch down here. You can choose between crotchets, crotchet triplets, and quavers. And type. This uses the tweak knob to select between 3 different effect types within each program. Program, the shark knob. This selects from one of 6 modular programs: chorus, phaser, tremolo, vibrato, rotary, and filter. Tune. This knob controls the elements selectable by the switch below. We've got tone, sets the overall tone for the effect from dark to bright. Sim. This adjusts the symmetry of the LFO waves. With this, you can create regular through to non-traditional waveforms. And X. This setting changes different aspects depending on what program setting you have. It ranges massively and will alter aspects such as range, feedback, and phase. But let's take a look at the middle switch. The ABC switch selects presets stored in the pedal, and there's 3 presets in each letter. To get to them, you select your letter and then press both foot switches at the same time. The first in each bank will flash red over here, the second green, and the third blue before it cycles back to red again. So 9 presets in total. But these can be also saved over with your own settings. And if you want to get into the MIDI aspect, you can actually save 128 presets. And the foot switches. Over here, we've got our bypass switch, which if you hold it down, lets you adjust the lo-fi settings. And here is our tap tempo switch, which lets you select the LFO speed. And if you hold it down, whilst playing audio, it'll loop the last few milliseconds of what was played into it, kind of like a skipping record. And if we look around the outside of this thing, we've got stereo in and out jacks, MIDI up here, and a USB port for updating the firmware. And there we have it, the Walrus Audio M1. A hugely tweakable and fantastic sounding modular pedal. Now I'll be honest, I'm not usually a huge fan of complicated small knobbed pedals. When I'm playing live, I want to be able to tweak a sound quickly and with a precision in mind that, you know, when you're in the middle of playing a guitar or whatever, you don't want to have to focus on the pedal. The fact that there's multiple layers involved with the switches does complicate this even more. And I'd be totally down this pedal if it didn't sound so damn good. The modulation effects are fantastic and there is so much variety. So if you want to tweak your sound, there is so much you can do to get the perfect tone that you've been perhaps searching for. And the fact there is multiple levels, you have even more control beyond pretty much any other pedal I'd use. Now it's a digital unit too, so this makes me a little wary of taking it on the road because I play in the kind of bands where a beer is probably going to get spilt on it. But many people play in respectable bands where this does not happen. And using it in the studio, I doubt that's going to happen to your pedals too. And look, it may be finicky, and it did take me a while to get my head around, but with the ability to save the settings you've created in as presets, that makes things a whole lot easier. So, is this pedal worth grabbing? retailing at around $349 US, which is about 500 bucks Australian at the moment. It's not cheap, but it does have all your modulation needs in one box. And of course it is a small unit. If you're a pedal person looking to save real estate on your enormous pedal board, it'll definitely squeeze in. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time for more stuff.